Hello everyone. Today I am going to deal with the topic Hermitian operator, its definition and properties in quantum mechanics. When we come across matrices, we consider the adjoint of a matrix. In quantum mechanics, instead of matrix, we are using operators. So let us say H is an operator and the self-adjoint of it, which is denoted as H dagger, when these two are equal to each other, then the operator is said to be Hermitian operator. It is in general. But in quantum mechanics, what is its significance and what are the properties, what are the conditions for an operator to become an Hermitian operator, we are going to study in today's session. So let's start. An Hermitian operator, what is the use of it? So in quantum mechanics, all of the dynamical information of a system is contained within a wave function. And this information can be extracted from the wave function through the use of operators. So each physical property which we are interested in has a corresponding operator which operates on the wave function. And if the wave function is an eigenfunction of a particular operator, then its eigenvalue is the value of that observable. Because we know eigenvalue is the only measurable quantity. So what is the use of Hermitian operator? So a Hermitian operator play an integral role or very important role in quantum mechanics due to two properties. So first is their eigenvalues are always real. So this is important because their eigenvalues correspond to the physical properties of a system, which cannot be imaginary or complex. It has to be real. And the second property is that their eigenfunctions are orthonormal, which greatly simplifies many quantum mechanical problems. So this is the use of Hermitian operator. So what are the conditions which are to be satisfied by an operator to become a Hermitian operator? Let us study. So let us consider an operator A cap which is operating on a wave function xi m and another wave function is xi n. So then A cap is said to be Hermitian operator if it satisfies this condition. That is, integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi m star A cap xi n into dx is equals to the integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of A cap xi m whole star into xi n dx is equals to integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi n star A cap xi m dx the whole star. So stars are nothing but the conjugates. So if you consider the first term, the integration of xi m star, that is one wave function with its conjugate, then comes the operator and then is another wave function. So we can say that the operator is sandwiched between the two wave functions. Then it will be equal to again operator with the first wave function, the whole conjugate, because we know it is not going to differ. So this is something like taking an adjoint in matrices. It is similar but in terms of operators. And it should be equal to the conjugate of the whole with the reversing of the wave function. That is xi n star A cap xi m dx the whole conjugate. Here at last we have just interchanged it. So if you remember the sequence easily, you can understand and even reproduce the definition of Hermitian operator. So left hand side is always a conjugate and right hand side wave function is just as it is. Then the same thing can be denoted in bracket notation also. Here it is something like the inner product of xi m and A cap xi n is equals to the inner product of a cap xi m and xi n, which is equals to the conjugate of inner product of xi n a cap xi m. So how to remember? So if you consider the above equation in integral form and compare it with the bracket notation, always we need to remember that the LHS part, that is in bracket notation, we can divide it into two parts. The left side is the bra notation and right side is the ket notation. So left hand side wave function, even though it is not denoted with the conjugate sign, that is asterisk mark, it is understood that it is going to be a complex conjugate. So when you convert from integral to bracket function, no need to write star for LHS part. It is understood. So if you remember any one of the definition, easily you can reproduce the another notation. So some of the examples of Hermitian operator are the position operator. In general we say it as r cap, or even in terms of coordinates we can say x cap, y cap, z cap. Then the momentum operator and its components like px cap, py cap, pz cap. Then the energy, it may be kinetic energy or potential energy. Then the Hamiltonian, which is nothing but the total energy of a system. So all these operators are coming under Hermitian operator itself. Then we can again define an anti-Hermitian operator. So the same definition, only that there is a minus sign on the RHS side which denotes anti-Hermitian operator. So this is the condition or the definition of Hermitian operator in quantum mechanics. So next let us move on to the proof of their properties. So the first is, we can say these are something like theorems. So the first is, the eigenvalues of Hermitian operator are always real. So let's prove it. So let a cap be a Hermitian operator, means it has to obey the condition which we have already discussed. Then let us consider an eigenvalue equation for the above operator. Let xi be a wave function and a be a, that is small a, be its eigenvalue. So the eigenvalue equation is going to be a cap xi is equals to a into xi. Let us call it as equation number 1. Then let us consider the integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of a cap xi whole star into xi into dx. So this will be equal to integration of minus infinity to plus infinity of, from the above equation we know a cap xi is equals to a into xi, that is equation number 1. So we are just substituting the value of a cap xi as a into xi in the RHS side. Then when we equate it and solve, we can say a star, it is independent of x. So we can bring it outside the integral form and we can write it as a star into integration from minus infinity to plus infinity xi star into xi into dx, and let it be equation number 2. Then next, considering the definition of Hermitian operator. So we are considering first two terms of the definition of Hermitian operator, that is integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star a cap xi dx is equals to a cap xi whole star into xi dx, so that we can just compare with the above equation. So I have just reversed the first and second terms and written here. Then again if we use equation number 1 and substitute a cap xi by a into xi, we get the equation number 3, that is a, which is a scalar, can be, or which is independent of x, can be brought outside the integration sign, and we get equation number 3, which is a into integration of minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star into xi into dx. So what we can observe here is, in equation 2 and equation number 3, the LHS part is same. So when LHS parts are same, the RHS parts can be equated. It is something like A is equals to B and A is equals to C, which means it is understood that B is equal to C. The same thing we are doing here. So when you equate equation number 2 and 3, we get A star into integration from minus infinity to plus infinity, xi star into xi into dx is equals to A into integration from minus infinity to plus infinity, xi star into xi into dx. So if you rearrange it, we get the simplified equation. Then if this equation has to be equal to 0, it means any one of it has to be equal to 0. That is, either A star minus A should be equal to 0, or integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star into xi into dx should be equal to 0. But we already know xi star into xi, it gives the probability, and we can't just say that probability is 0, means there is no existence. That's why if this condition has to be satisfied, means another part of the equation, that is A star minus A, has to be equal to 0. So from that we can say A star is equals to A. But when it is possible, that is a number is equals to its conjugate. So if we say A plus IB is an term, then its conjugate will be A minus IB. That is, whenever I term is there, I is nothing but the complex term that is equal to root of minus 1. Whenever I term will be there, it will be replaced by minus I, or when it is minus I, it will be becoming plus I when we take the complex term. But if it is a real term like 2 or A or B, when we take its conjugate, it is going to remain as it is. So here what is happening? A star is equals to A, which is only possible when A is a real number. That's why we can say, as it is, we have considered in equation number 1, A is the eigenvalue. Eigenvalues of Hermitian operator are always real, which is a very important property of Hermitian operator in quantum mechanics. So the proof of the second property of Hermitian operator will be taken up in our next session. So this is for today's session. Thank you.